and we have answered the call. For years, you've been saying, Betsy, you're talking about all these great design concepts, but we can't visualize them. You're describing the picture that the listener sent in of their problem, and we wish we could see that picture too. After all, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I do my best to describe them, but there's nothing like seeing it for yourself. And that's why Affordable Interior Design, the podcast, now has a YouTube channel. Not only do we have a YouTube channel where you could see recordings and clips of these podcast episodes, we also have an Instagram, a Facebook, and so many other exciting things. You should check it out. Head over to affordableinteriordesign.com/links. Once again, affordableinteriordesign.com/LINKS. Links. And when you go there, you will see links to our YouTube page, our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and more. Please check it out, follow and subscribe so you can see everything I'm talking about.
You don't need a high-end designer or a lot of money to get a luxe look. Be your own interior designer.
This is Affordable Interior Design, the podcast.
Here's your host, Betsy Helmuth.
Do excuse me, everyone. I have a very stuffy voice and I've got a lot of congestion going on here. I may need to clear my throat. I may need to get a glass of water. I am suffering from very intense allergies. Of course, this is my favorite time of the year. The time of year when I can go watch my kids' baseball games where it's so nice outside and never even have to think about bringing a sweater, where we can just throw and go in the car and everything is beautiful and flowering and leafing and all of that fun stuff. And then, of course, the allergies. And I forget my allergy medication for one day and I am a hot mess. So that's what's going on right now. Hopefully you guys are faring better than I, but I was a disaster last week. I ran out of medication for 2 days, ordered more on Amazon because I knew by the time I got to CVS, oh my goodness, whatever, it'd be faster 2 days on Amazon. And in those 2 days, I just was debilitated by pollen. I was outside watching my daughter's softball game and it was like it was snowing. These little white puff balls, these green little things just falling all around me in my folding sports chair. And I was like, oh no, oh no. I went home and had such a rough night, went through a box of Kleenex, and there we go. Anyway, that's TMI. That's where I'm at. And speaking of where I'm at, I'm doing something a little bit different. So I am recording a series of business podcasts. So every now and again, I get some business questions, and I thought it might be fun to compile them into a few episodes that I could share with you. If you're thinking about taking clients, if you are taking interior design clients, perhaps these answers will help illuminate things for you. So without further ado, let me dig right in and answer a question from Irene. Irene is a new designer who writes, "It has been a rough start with me and getting traction for almost a year. And with my previous clients, I just want to start ordering from Wayfair. I picked up 2 projects and they said they would need furniture. I want to make this really simple and I want to make some money. But my ask is if you could pick the best overall companies in terms of designer discounts, quality, shipping, etc., for the following categories. Number 1, sofa. Number 2, dining room tables. Number 3, rugs. For reference, my clients need a middle price point. They are not high end, and one project is mid-century modern, while the other is coastal Scandinavian. Thank you in advance, Irene." All right, Irene, this is very helpful. And, it can be hard getting started as an interior designer, but the key is that you just need a couple of good projects. And then as you're taking those good projects, getting experience, building relationships with those people, you ask for the referral. You directly say, I have loved working with you. I would love to work with any friends that you may think of that could use my help. You just really ask for it outright. I ask for it towards the end of the project, but maybe not when the project is over. So, towards the end, either as you're installing, if that's a part of your business model, or right after you've presented the design plan and they're really excited, you say, you know what, this has been so much fun. I am loving working with you. Who else do you know? I'm happy to reach out. I would love to give your friends a discount. However you want to spin it that aligns with the kind of business you want to have, but really a small business can snowball from there. If you are just trying to keep yourself busy in interior design, having 2 clients is a great start, Irene, and I see big things for you. Now, the key is that you do recommend items that you're excited about that you can back up. So I'm really glad you asked this question. And I'm not exactly sure what middle price point means for you. But I'm going to assume that means retail. And I'm going to throw out a couple of stores for each category that you can kind of think about, research, go check out, etc. I also don't know your area. So that's limiting in terms of determining exactly which stores you could visit. Because for your first category, the sofa/sectional, I would never buy one of those that my clients could not sit on in advance. I want them to sit on it, jump on it, feel really comfortable, be very excited about it, make sure that it aligns with their idea of comfort before they invest. That being said, if I was looking for a mid-century modern style, I would definitely look at Room and Board or Blue Dot. Both of those have great mid-century modern styles, sleek legs. Both of those you can go check out. They are both middle price points. Now, if you want a slightly lower price point, we've got Macy's. Now, they have a couple of mid-century modern inspired models. The rest are going to be more for that coastal client. Speaking of the coastal client, a great place for a sofa is Pottery Barn. Pottery Barns are located all over the country, and you can go sit on their product, make sure that the client finds it to be comfortable, and that's a midpoint in terms of pricing. Now let's talk about dining room tables. If we are going for that MCM look, I love Article. Now, a dining room table, in my opinion, is not something that you need to see in advance in order to invest, unless you're buying something very, very pricey. So Article will be a nice price point. They have really good quality tables. I also like Rove Concepts quite a bit. Now, they don't deliver to every place in the United States, but they do deliver to a lot of places. They do have some showrooms. They have that great kind of throwback mid-century modern/contemporary look that many of my clients are asking for. And if you want a dining table that's a real showpiece, that's quite unique, that would align well with that mid-century modern style, look at CB2. Again, they have stores nationwide, and they have such interesting materials, such interesting profiles. I'm just always finding a great conversation piece in terms of a table there, but you do want to look at the reviews because the quality can be hit or miss. Now, if you're going for that coastal look, again, Pottery Barn, you cannot go wrong. They have a lot of great styles. You might also want to look at Restoration Hardware. They have some really good sales, and they do have some of that more visible wood grain and that kind of thing that we're looking for when we're thinking coastal. And I also really like Crate and Barrel for their dining room tables in a variety of styles. Now, when we're looking at rugs, certainly there's a wide range of price points, materials, pile heights, etc. I always love looking at Macy's because you can touch and feel the rugs, and they have such a selection, tons of different brands, tons of different colors, just a lot of variety. I also really like West Elm because you can get things that are more coastal in terms of tone on tone, in terms of jute or sisal, in terms of those textures, as well as some fun geometric patterns. Geographic, oh my goodness. Geometric patterns for the MCM look. And then Crate and Barrel also has a wide range, and I love going to their showroom. They really have large scale rugs that you can see, not just the tiny square samples. Now, if you're not wanting to spend quite that much, Wayfair. Wayfair has a great selection of rugs. Now, you do want to be careful. I always read the reviews because I'm not going to be able to see this rug in advance. So I want to make sure that I'm understanding the colorway. I want to make sure that I'm understanding the texture and the pile height. So I'm getting my client just what they need. And I want to make sure, of course, when we're shopping for rugs, that there is no viscose. I do not like that material, as you've heard me say before many times, because it stains so easily and it's found in so many beautiful high-end looking rugs. So buyer beware. But Irene, I'm really excited for you. Don't let your slow start get you down. As long as you invest emotionally and time wise in your initial clients, it will pay off dividends in those referrals.
And now it's time for a quick commercial break. Are you a fan of this podcast? Do you wish there was even more juicy content for you to sink your ears into? Well, there is. You can become a premium member of this podcast for $5.99 a month and get full access to an archive of over 50 bonus episodes. Additionally, we release a bonus episode every single month. That's a ton of extra content, including my personal interior design diaries, extra tips, my talking about trends, and so much more. Additionally, you'll be keeping us on the airwaves each and every week because your premium membership money goes directly back to making this podcast amazing. Check us out at affordableinteriordesign.com. Click on podcast to learn more and to become a premium member today.
I'm going to dig into a question from Casey now. Hi, Betsy. I'm in Phoenix, and for me, it has been brutal. I'm finding nobody wants to spend money. I've had 5 potential clients enthusiastically say that they only want to work with me, but when I give them a quote, they say it's way out of their budget. I offer other services that reduce the cost, but so far nothing has worked. Nobody wants to spend money. I had a family that was so excited to get started. 3 kids' bedrooms, 1 office, 1 primary bedroom, a living room, family room, and dining room. Their entire budget, $8,000. My quote, $19,000. I had another guy who had 2 living rooms, 2 dining rooms, 5 bedrooms. His budget capped out at $5,000. I'm considering getting another job while I ride this market out. What's your experience in your location to those who do this full time? My rate is $125 per hour. I'm considering dropping it just to make ends meet, but that does not look good. I know. Please help, Casey. Sorry, Casey. Had to clear my throat. These allergies, you know what I'm saying. First of all, I'm really glad, Casey, that you shared these examples with me because I don't care where these people are located. With so many rooms and so much ground to cover, and I'm assuming that they're starting relatively from scratch, their budgets are totally unreasonable. Sometimes we say it's not you, it's me. Sometimes it's not me, it's you. And in this case, the examples you shared, the clients are delusional. When they go out shopping on their own, or when they call other interior design firms, they are going to get a wake-up call. They are going to get an education that this is unrealistic. Now, you can be part of the education process by talking with them. But what it sounds like to me is you're not doing a good job initially of qualifying these clients. I'm not sure where you're getting your leads, but either what they're hearing about you or what they're seeing in terms of your website is giving them the wrong impression. It's making them think that you are able to, I don't know, shop only garage sales or do something very, very affordable. So sometimes it can help to set expectations so that clients aren't calling you and wasting your time and having you write these extensive proposals. And then they're not even in the ballpark, right? Of putting on your website, starting at and listing a price. That way, it's not giving all of your pricing, but it's letting people know, hey, this is the range. This is what you should be thinking. This is a preliminary education. right? My plans start at XYZ. Then the next thing I want you to do is ask yourself, who is that ideal client, right? Who do you want to work with? Was it that family? Was it that bachelor? And then really kind of create an avatar. Where does this ideal person hang out? Because the family you attracted or the bachelor you attracted with such a low budget may not be your ideal avatar, even though on paper they looked good. Maybe you need to be targeting different places when you're marketing or when you're refining your website using different language that will appeal to that sort of higher level person. Then the other thing is, I'm not sure how much time you're spending on these proposals, but you want to make it easier. You mentioned that your flat rate is 125 per hour. And in my area, the New York City area, that's a great rate. That is, almost a third of my rate. That's a really competitive rate, if not a low rate. And if you lower it anymore, people may not take you seriously. But I don't know what the landscape looks like in Phoenix. So the next thing any small business owner needs to do, and needs to do on a regular basis, and I mean like once a year, is do a competitor analysis. Who is out there in your market and what are they offering at what price? Right? You need to know what these other clients are seeing online. You need to know what they're comparing you against, and you need to be able to speak with confidence. There is no one else in the Phoenix area who will offer this package for this pricing. There's no one else in the Phoenix area who blah, 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 right? So that way you can speak with authority on your sales calls. Now, would I want to be the lowest price point in that race? Absolutely not. But I would want to know what makes me different. For instance, in the New York City area, I am the lowest in terms of the cost of a package for somebody who will come to your house in person. I would not be competing virtually because there are so many virtual services that are much lower. But in terms of somebody coming to your space who is a true professional and giving you quality tailored advice and able to shop at any retailer, there's nobody like that in my area. And I can speak to that during the sales calls and the proposal process. So I would be able to educate this family that came to me and say, this is a lot of rooms. And I can tell you right now, I can save you some time because I've done a lot of research in this area. You're going to need a budget of at least this. And there's no other interior designer who will work for you for XYZ in this area. And just kind of giving them that to chew on and keeping your door open. I would love to help you. I think that this is a better option, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes when people give you that initial figure, they are coming from a place of being uneducated. They truly don't know. And so they have a sense of how much they'd like to pay, but they have no idea how much they need to pay, right? And so you just have to say, for $5K, I can't even get everything you need at IKEA. And I know that you're going to want, even if you do want some IKEA, a mix. And I know that you're going to want a higher quality product for the fact that you own this space, that it's new. So I highly recommend that you max, your budget out at XYZ, or that you at least consider going to XYZ, right? So when I'm talking to a prospective client, Casey, I don't even ask them their budget for furniture because I know that they probably don't know. I wait to ask them their budget for furniture until they've already agreed to my fee. Now, I will work with any budget, right? But I need to educate them during the process and they need to trust me first. So if they're willing to pay my fee, then I know that they're willing to kind of partner with me as we design their home. But I would want to give them a reality check. But I would just wait on that number and instead talk about your number. I know that might be controversial. There are some of you small business owners who might be scratching your head, but I really don't ask my clients' budget for furniture and items until they're already working with me and they've already paid. All my clients pay up front. All right, I hope that helped. If you have follow-up questions, Casey, feel free to reach out. All right, my last question of the day comes from Felicia. She says, Betsy, I'm designing a powder room that will have painted wall mural all the way around. The vanity is existing and used to have a mirror that went all the way up to the countertop just behind the sink. We're replacing it with a mirror that will be 6 inches above. I'm planning to use Emerald by Sherwin-Williams, which is splash resistant. However, it's not intended to have water pooling up against it. I would prefer not adding a backsplash. However, I have some concerns about the water being against the wall, even though it's a powder room. So I'm not sure how much water would be in question or if I should worry about this. I'm looking for a recommendation on how to handle this. A, do I take the risk with no backsplash and do a splatter resistant paint? B, do I add a backsplash only on the back wall? I'm thinking a black 3-dimensional fluted stone. Or C, I'm open to other ideas. Thank you in advance. Well, Felicia, thank you for writing. I'm happy to weigh in. So first thing is I always like a vanity with a backsplash, even in a powder room. You would be amazed at how many little splashes or little leaks or whatever tend to occur. And having the water go from the vanity top to the wall is a problem. It is a problem over time that paint starts to flake no matter what finish it is. And the caulking between the vanity edge and the wall can get gaps and just look unsightly, get moldy. I always recommend a backsplash. Now, my favorite way to achieve this backsplash look is to have it built into the vanity. So when I'm shopping for a vanity for the client, I look for one that has a lip that goes up at least a couple of inches, right? And that is what I prefer. I never like to choose a vanity without that, which does narrow my choices, but also ensures that the client is going to have a good quality outcome. In your case, you're suggesting that since they already have the vanity, that you would add a 3-inch or 3-dimensional black fluted stone backsplash. And I think that's a great idea. I would definitely add one if there's not one already there. I would like one clean slab. It's going to be very hard to match the finish of the top of the vanity if it's any kind of natural stone. So you'd want to do something solid in color so it wouldn't compete. If it's white, it's also going to be kind of difficult to match the white. Whites don't often match. So I like the idea of doing something somewhat contrasting or a different material, but I would 100% do a backsplash, even though it may not be as sophisticated and clean looking initially. It is going to stand the test of time and look so much better after a year or two of use. There you go, Felicia. That's my 2 cents. Guys, are you thinking of starting an interior design business? Do you have questions? Are you already taking clients but are experiencing dilemmas in your designs? Well, I am here to help. After running a business for this year, it'll be 19 years. I have had lots of experiences and I can't wait to share my wisdom. So go over to affordableinteriordesign.com/podcast. Once again, that's affordableinteriordesign.com/podcast to submit your business question today. Thanks so much. I will be talking to you again next week. Bye. Do you love this podcast? Do you wish you could learn even more? Well, we have an online class bundle. Our online class bundle is comprised of 3 online classes: beautifying your home for less, styling your home, and the fundamentals of feng shui. Each one of those 3 classes is between 30 and 45 minutes long and chock filled with visuals and tips, things that will help you to style your own space or help out with other spaces. Additionally, with the pack of 3 classes, you get an autographed copy of my book, Affordable Interior Design. You get all of that for only $99. Once again, that's the 3 online classes as well as the book for only $99. You just go to affordableinteriordesign.com/classes. Once again, affordableinteriordesign.com/classes to buy your bundle today. And if one of those classes sounded intriguing, but maybe you already have my book or some of the other topics are not of interest, you can buy the classes individually at that site as well. Each class is $40. So head over to affordableinteriordesign.com/classes to get your bundle or your online class today.
A big thank you to our amazing producer, Katherine Heller, to Aton and the MVCR House Band, and to Affordable Interior Design, the sponsor of this podcast and the premier place to get an amazing look on a budget. Check out affordableinteriordesign.com. If you guys love the show, the very best way to support us is by spreading the word. Tell your friends or write us an awesome review on iTunes. So until next week, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.